Welcome back to Pro Sports in the Know, your spot for everything NFL and NBA. In today's video, I want to go into a spicy topic here about the Cavs' success early on in the season with an 8-0 start in the early year. And by looking at both sides of the ball for the Cavaliers, I think you guys are going to have a very good understanding of why the Cavs have been so successful this year. And before we get into the video, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe if you guys enjoy these type of videos. It lets me know so that I can continue to give you guys this type of content. And yeah, let's get straight into the video here. Alright, so kind of like last week with the Lakers video, we're going to go over an overarching question really, and right now we're just going to look at how the Cavs are undefeated right now. And something I really want to focus on entirely throughout this video is this coaching change of Kenny Atkinson, right? So right now, I really do enjoy watching Kenny Atkinson's Cavaliers offense and defense really, because right now we're really seeing them being a lot more aggressive compared to JB Bickerstaff, right? We'll get more into that on the defensive side of the ball and on the offensive side of the ball, but really what I want you guys to keep in mind is just that Kenny Atkinson has been utilizing his guys best right now in a lot of situations really, especially defensively. Alright, so starting it off here with the defense, let's go ahead and talk about the obvious things, right? So we're really seeing great rim protection out of the Cavaliers right now. They're actually allowing the 4th worst field goal percentage in the restricted area. And I mean, looking at their film, it's pretty obvious who's really anchoring the defense here. We got Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, right? And they had a couple of question marks ever since Evan Mobley was drafted, right? Because they're two big men and we didn't really know how they would play together on offense and on defense. Looking at the defensive side of the ball, they've been amazing together. Even if someone like Jarrett Allen is playing on the perimeter, he has a solid opportunity to stay in front of his guy. But if he gets blown by, you still have Evan Mobley in the paint to reject shots and vice versa, right? And I think that this is really allowing them to have a baseline for their defense. And this is really kind of like the anchoring point, right? I think that if they didn't have this rim protecting defense, then Kenny Atkinson's defense would be a lot different. And I think that as we go through this, we're going to talk about kind of what this defensive aggressiveness is looking like right now. But really what I just need you guys to understand is that this baseline for the Cavaliers defense with Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley is the reason why they're being so successful. All right, and let's look at their defensive aggressiveness, which is really why I think they're 5th in defensive rating at 108.5, and they're at 14.8% opponent turnover percentage, which is currently 3rd in the NBA. And really, under head coach Kenny Atkinson, we've really been seeing guards such as Darius Garland and wings like Isaac Okoro be a lot more engaged in passing lanes and attack ball handlers, right? The Cavs have gone from being 19th last year in steals and turnovers forced to 5th this year. And I think Atkinson is really the biggest reason for this because he's basically got the same roster as last year. And I mean, I think that he's going to have this belief this whole year that it's going to be fine for the Cavaliers players to get beat because they have people like Mobley and Allen being at the rim like we talked about with this baseline defense. And I mean, I think the ability to go into passing lanes has really opened up opportunities for the Cavs pace rating, which is something that we're going to get into later when we talk about the offensive side of the ball. But I mean, something else that I think the Cavs are doing under Atkinson a lot better is switching, right? Last year against the Celtics, we really saw them trying to stay on screens. They would try to stay in tag and get their man back, but this really didn't work at all. We saw Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown absolutely torch them, mainly Jason Tatum. And I mean, this year with being able to switch a lot more and just trusting your backside help with Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, I think that this is really opening up opportunities for the Cavaliers defense to be more of themselves, honestly. And I think that Kenny Atkinson's really doing a great job of this. And let's look at another subtopic here with the rise of new players for the Cavaliers, especially on the defensive side of the floor. And really, I think what's being overlooked, or at least a player I think is being overlooked, is Dean Wade as a primary defender in this Cavs defense. Right now, Wade has been proven to be a very vital help defender who can basically do it all on the defensive side of the floor, kind of like a jack of all trades in my opinion. With his 6'9" size, Wade can easily switch on positions 1 through 5 and really not have too much trouble guarding anyone. And this is really allowing Atkinson's plan of attack to happen, right? I mean, like mentioned before, the new style of Atkinson to switch on ball screens instead of tag and stay has allowed for the Cavs defense to lock down opposing teams effectively. Someone else to talk about here as well is Darius Garland. And the main thing I really want to focus about Garland is his IQ and basically how that he's using that on the defensive side of the floor to his advantage, right? We're seeing him sniff out plays before they happen. We're seeing him get into passing lanes, and this has really allowed for a lot more easy buckets for him, and it's allowed for a lot more fast breaks for them, but it's also really just allowed their defense to be so much better, right? With all 5 guys playing defense, which is what they're doing right now, they're able to achieve something that not a lot of teams can do, right? Because if we're looking at other teams' defenses, especially like the Washington Wizards, for example, they don't have 5 guys playing defense. Sometimes, well, most of the time, they're going to have at least one person being lazy on the defense side of the court. But right now, honestly, the Cavs look like they have 5 guys playing defense. They're all engaged and locked in, and they're all really built on accomplishing one goal. And that's something else I really want to talk about here. We talked about this with the Lakers last week. I think something very important for a team is their identity. I think the Cavs' identity on the defensive side of the floor is amazing. They really just trust each other, right? They trust their coach. They trust their game plan. They trust that they know how other players are going to play on other teams. And I mean, I just think that this is really why they're being so successful on the defensive side of the floor, right? So I mean, overall on the defensive side of the court, I think really what we're seeing is great coaching out of Kenny Atkinson. I think we're seeing his ability to coach the team really well and just put guys in the right situations is allowing for more aggressive defense, and he's really relying on his rim protectors in Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley, which is why they're succeeding so well on the defensive side of the court so far this year. Now let's get into everyone's favorite side of the floor here with the offense, right? Looking at the key stats for the Cavs right now, they're second in offensive rating at 121.5. They're 10th in pace at 100.6, 63% true shooting percentage, which is first in the entire league, and first in the entire league in effective field goal percentage at 60.9%. And really, the offense is really running through Evan Mobley here, right? And so we're looking at these stats, right? And I mean, these numbers are insane, right? These numbers are off the charts. I mean, 63% true shooting percentage and 61% from effective field goal. That is insane. And I mean, we're really looking at what they're doing so well, right? And I think that it's because they're running their offense through Evan Mobley. We've seen many people say that they've been really feeding Mobley the ball a lot. Even head coach Kenny Atkinson, he's understanding that, you know, obviously this offense isn't going to be able to shoot the ball as well as they have throughout the entire season, because of course we only have a small sample size. But I mean, I think that they're getting great shots right now, and I think this is really because of Evan Mobley. And I think that, you know, with him being one of the main options on this Cavaliers offense, he's opening up opportunities for people like Jarrett Allen to get easy buckets, Donovan Mitchell to score the ball, and Darius Garland to score the ball as well, which we'll get into later in the video. Like Atkinson is saying, their offense is very productive right now, and it just looks great. It looks fun to watch. You know, they're moving the ball, they're playing as a team, kind of like the defensive side of the floor. They're playing with all five guys, and I really think that this is one of the big reasons why we're seeing the Cavaliers offense open up a lot more. All right, and something that we did explore with the defensive side of the ball is the change in pace the Cavs have had, and it's really been much improved this year, to put it simply. Like mentioned before, the aggressive play of the Cavs defense and passing lanes has opened up a lot of more opportunities in fast breaks, which has led to them being the #1 team in offensive efficiency in the NBA. And you know, you contrast that to last year when the talented squad was actually 20th in offensive efficiency last year. And I mean, I really just like the fast-paced style of Kenny Atkinson, and it's really not new for the NBA world, as with the Brooklyn Nets, he was known to push the ball in transition and have this kind of fast-paced type of play. And I mean, the change in pace for the Cavs is really opening up a lot more opportunities where you can get a lot more open layups and a lot more transition threes, and just really get more out of your offense, right? And I think that this is really perfect for the Cavaliers with their start, and it really does explain why they're being so efficient from the field right now, because if you're getting wide open layups, of course your percentages are going to go up, right? And I mean, this is why their offensive rating is so high. All right, now let's get into one of the main things that's been helping them with their offense, especially in the half court, with the play of Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Obviously, Darius Garland last night really did carry the Cavaliers in his 39-point win against the Bucks, which we'll get into later on here, but I want to focus on Donovan Mitchell, and it's really been hard to miss over this stretch with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's had 20 or more points every single game except for that last game against the Bucks, and he's been very efficient while doing it, right? Shooting 50, 40, 79 splits is something that he can continue to produce the entire season, and I honestly could see him get more shots coming his way. The hard part for D-Mitch to continue getting buckets, like we said before, is how spread out this offense is, right? I mean, we're probably going to get a lot of shots here for Evan Mobley, we're going to get a lot of shots here for Jarrett Allen, and we're going to get a lot of shots for Darius Garland other than Donovan Mitchell, right? And I think that there are pros and cons to this for everyone, right? I think this is a big pro for the Cavaliers because you're going to get more opportunities, but it's definitely a con for Donovan Mitchell if he wants to end up, you know, getting more stats. But looking at Darius Garland now, he ended up with 39 points in last night's game, like we said, and he helped the Cavs win another nail-biter with his 9 points in the last 3 minutes and 24 seconds of the game. I mean, Garland is looking to continue to be a viable scoring option for the Cavaliers whenever they need him to be, and that 1-2 punch between Mitchell and Garland honestly is top tier in my opinion, and I think that this is going to be hard for other teams to stop. And I mean, we're really just seeing everyone in the court being involved, but really looking specifically at Mitchell and Garland, because because if one dude's having a bad game, you can trust the other guy to step up, because I really do think that both of them are pretty consistent players, and I think that this is something that we're going to continue to see as the season goes on. Now, after talking about all the factors, let's go ahead and tie everything together, right? So, I mean, I think the real reason why the Cavs are 8-0 currently is because of the defense they have been able to play. My main question mark for this team is if they're going to be able to continue to hit their shots, right? And I mean, like we said before, this is also a question that Kenny Atkinson is asking himself. And I gotta be honest with y'all, as much as I want to say that this is going to continue to go in fruition, I really don't think that this is gonna be very sustainable as the season goes on. I mean, right now the shots are falling at an incredible rate, and I just don't know if it's gonna be able to continue to be this way. I think that they're gonna continue to try to ride the shooting wave, but I mean, I think like with many other teams, the streak will come and go. Their current aggressive and active philosophy the Cavs have on defense, though, is gonna undoubtedly something that can travel, which is why I believe they can be one of the premier teams in the NBA. And I really think that that defense is what's gonna help them win games. I think their offense right now, of course, is amazing, but if they can continue to have a top 5 defense in the NBA with your scoring options such as D-Mitch, Garland, and then you have the offense playing through people like Evan Mobley, that's gonna be perfect for the Cavs going forward. And there's honestly no reason why they shouldn't be a contender, especially in the Eastern Conference. Even though it's so competitive, I do think that this roster has a lot of talent, and I think that they can definitely win in the NBA. Alright, y'all, we have reached the end of the video. Thank you guys for making it all the way throughout, and if you did, you guys might as well like and subscribe. And I really do appreciate you guys for watching this video, though. It really does help me out with the YouTube algorithm, and if you guys do like this video, I'm gonna keep these type of videos pumping out so that you guys can get a lot more content. And make sure you guys check out the stream Saturday about fantasy football in the NFL, and I'll see you guys in the next video.